recording. Stop. I didn't say to do that. Oh, because the thing's on the button. Hello, I'm Jen, and I do things. I just got back from a Royal Caribbean cruise, but getting to that cruise was a bit challenging. And I almost got scammed in the process, and I wanted to let you know because I did let Royal Caribbean know, and they said that this is a known problem. But even though it is a known problem, I never heard of it. Therefore, I would like to share it with you. So let me start at the beginning in that if I had done two things that the cruise experts say I should do, this would not have happened to me. So the first thing that I did not do was I did not book my cruise through a travel agent, because if you know me outside of this channel, you know that I like to research and I like to plan and I like to do it. I just want to do it myself. I wanted to do all the things. I wanted to pick all the excursions and I wanted to book all the stuff. And I enjoyed that piece of it. So because of that, I didn't go through a travel agent. The second thing that I did not do that the experts say you should do is arrive at your destination one day early, because that guarantees you're where you're supposed to be when it's time to get on your cruise. Now, keep in mind though, I live in the Baltimore area and my cruise is going out of Bayonne, New Jersey. So that is a 2.5 hour train ride from Baltimore to Bayonne. It's a very easy train ride. I've done it multiple times before, never had a problem before. My mom stayed at my house the night before because we knew we were leaving early in the morning. Our train was supposed to leave at about 9 a.m. So we had planned to get to the train station about 8:30. Did I need to be there at 8:30? No, but I like to be places early and I didn't want any chance that we were gonna miss this train. So we got there about 8:35 or so. And as it got closer to 9 o'clock, the train said that it was 15 minutes late, that it was running late. No problem. Little time goes by, it's running another 15 minutes late, so 30 minutes late. Our original time getting on the train, we were going to end up in New Jersey at 11 o'clock. From the train station to the port, it was going to be a 30-minute Uber ride, so I expected to be at the port at 11:30 a.m. The gangway was going up at 3:30 p.m., so that was going to give us plenty of time to get there and get settled, have some fun on the ship before the sail away party. So we're on the platform, we're waiting for the train. Finally, 30 minutes late, the train shows up. Yay! So my mom and I, we get our bags, we get on the train, we get settled, and we sit down. Whew. And I text my husband, we're on the train, yay, we're on the way. We get to the next station, which is Baltimore City. So the way that it works is we got on at BWI Airport. There's one stop, we stop in Baltimore, and then it goes in and to Delaware, where we're going like way further away, right? So we are in Baltimore City at our Penn Station, and it comes on the announcements. Sorry folks, the train has lost power and we are unable to move the train. So we will be back on in a minute to let you know what's happening and what the status is. So at this point, I start actively, internally freaking out because I don't know if this train is ever going to keep going. So I'm trying to breathe. I text my husband. I tell him what's going on. He's like, well, keep me posted. Let me know what happens. So we're sitting there, about 15 minutes goes by and they come back on. Sorry folks, so we've just realized that the power outage is not from the train. It is a local power outage within the Baltimore area. We do have some people coming to fix it, but we don't know how long it will be before our train resumes to its destination. You may want to make some alternate plans to get to wherever it is you are going, and we apologize for any inconvenience. So at this point, I am even more freaking out. I am losing my mind. I text my husband, I told him what was happening, and I started immediately Googling how much it would cost for my mom and I to fly to Florida. Because that was our first port, was Orlando. And it's like, one-way tickets to Orlando. We're gonna miss the first few days. I'm absolutely panicking because I had actively and purposely planned everything to a freaking T. And now the train has lost power. My husband texts me back and he says, do you want me to drive you to New Jersey? And I said, yes. I need you to drive me to New Jersey. And my mother, of course. We're not gonna leave my mother behind. Me and my mother to New Jersey. So he says, okay, I'm on my way. It's about a 30-minute drive from my house to where we were in Baltimore City. So my mom and I, we get all of our stuff, we get off the train, and we go to where you can get picked up outside the train station. And we're standing there with our big ass bags and waiting for my husband for about 20 to 30 minutes. And as we're standing there waiting, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to miss our check-in time with the cruise. We're definitely missing that. I don't know when the final time is to get on the ship. I know all aboard is 3:30, but do you need to be there before that? Like, so I'm panicking. I'm like, okay, I'll just call Royal Caribbean. And this is where I almost got scammed. So I Google searched Royal Caribbean customer service. I believe that was my Google search. It was something to that effect. And there was a phone number that popped up really big. You know how Google, like the legit number pops up really big on the screen. So I dial that number. It's okay. I'm standing in the middle of Baltimore City. If you've never been to Baltimore City, it's busy. There's people walking by. There's some guy talking to himself. He's probably just on his earbud or whatever, but he's walking by really loud talking to himself. There's cars going by and there's people, back and forth, back and forth. Feel totally safe. I mean, for the most part, I feel pretty safe. I don't feel like anybody's gonna rob me or anything, but it's loud and it's distracting. So when the person picks up at Royal Caribbean, I couldn't really hear them. They had a thick accent. Like a lot of people, when you call Royal Caribbean, a lot of them have thick accents, and it was just difficult for me to hear because everything was going on. I didn't hear what the woman said. So I just, when she stopped talking, whatever she was saying, I said, okay, so this is what's happening. We are supposed to be on a ship. We're going on Symphony of the Seas. We're supposed to be in New Jersey at 11:30, but our train broke down. So we are going to be now driving. And I just wanted to let the cruise line know at the port when our estimated time of arrival is so that they are aware. And the woman says, okay, so I can do that for you. Absolutely. It's going to be $150 per person to change your reservation. And I thought about, my adrenaline was already up because I know we're cutting it close at this point, because even if my husband gets there and the time, to get there, driving is much slower than taking the train. Plus we're going, on the highway, a lot of times there's a ton of tolls, there's a lot of traffic. I don't know if we're going to make it. So my anxiety is through the roof. So when this woman told me it was $150 per person, it sounded weird to me, but at the same time, I just wanted to resolve things. So I said, okay, fine. So she said, she asked for our first and last names and our birthdays. I gave her that information. She pulls it up and she says, okay, you are with Royal, you're sailing on Symphony of the Seas. This is your room number, all of that. We've got you at 11:30. So what time do you think you'll be there? I said, probably about 2:30. She said, okay. She's like, I need your credit card number. And this is where I hesitated because number one, I'm standing in the middle of Baltimore City. I am not going to verbally say my credit card number out loud in the middle of the city. I'm not doing that. So I said that to her. I'm not doing that. She said, okay, so this is what I can do. I'll email you and then you can email me back your credit card number and I will put that in for you. I said, well, why can't you just use my credit card on file? She says, well, I'm not authorized to do that. I need your credit card number. Okay, that's super weird. So I gave her my email address. First, she got it wrong. She typed in wrong. Then she got my right email. So I'm on the phone with her for quite a while. She finally gets my right email address. I check the email and I look it to see who it's coming from. You may have guessed already, it was not coming from Royal Caribbean. It was coming from this email address that I am putting up on the screen for you. I want you to know who this person is because she is a scammer. It was coming from her. And I said to her, I just noticed that you're not from Royal Caribbean. And she said, oh, we work for them. We're authorized as a travel agent to handle Royal Caribbean's last minute changes to the reservations. That's what we do for them. They hire us to do that. I said, ma'am, I am so sorry that I have wasted your time. I said, but what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna handle this at the cruise port. I'm not going to send you my credit card number at this time. And she said, oh, okay, no problem. Thank you. Have a good day. And that was the end of the conversation. So if you've cruised before, you may be thinking, why did you believe this at all? And again, I think it was because of my heightened anxiety. So we did get to the cruise port about 2:35. We got up, I cried, I hugged my husband, and I thanked him before he drove his 3 hours back home. And my mom and I got on the cruise and everything was fine. I did go talk to customer service and I wanted to let them know that this had happened. And the woman that I spoke to said that she had heard of this woman before, that on her last contract that someone had had the same problem with the same woman. I showed her the email. She wrote down the person's name. She said she would once again talk to Royal Caribbean and let them know that this woman was still trying to scam. But me being me and wanting to blow up this woman's spot because she is a scammer, I want to make sure that you know you should never go through this person. And what I will always do from now on is I will be booking through a travel agent, because if you do that, then the travel agent handles all of that for you. There would never have been a phone call made, because you don't have to call Royal Caribbean unless you know you are going to be late. Like I was going to get there at 3:30, 3:35. Then I should have called. I did not know that. The travel agent would have known that. So if I booked through a travel agent, that wouldn't have been a problem. Also, I do think that I will spring for a hotel room by the port instead of leaving the morning of, even though it isn't a long travel time. And then the third thing, obviously, is never to Google a phone number. Go to the website and get the information for whatever you need off of the actual website instead of Googling. So those were my 3 hard lessons that I learned from this experience. It wasn't too hard lesson learned because I wasn't out any money, but it did cause me a lot of stress. So I got very, very lucky, and I just wanted to share that story with you just in case you ever found yourself in a similar situation. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. This channel is growing very quickly. I don't know how that happened, but it looks like I'm going to be uploading more on this channel, which is very fun and exciting. So thank you for being here, and thank you for joining me on my lovely new journey, and mad love to you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye.